Hi, if you have ever dived deeper into the iceberg of Initial D video games, you may have heard of Initial D Perfect Shift Online. The aim of the game was to have a perfect shift, so in a way it was more of an accuracy game than an action racing game. It was free to play for the Nintendo 3DS, and it was available for download on the Nintendo eShop between April 2014 and May 2015. Since the game was never available in any physical form, could it be that it is a lost game that cannot be played anymore? Let's try to find it out in this video. First, let's discuss the background of this game. It was announced in December 2013. In January 2014, closed beta tests were held. The game was made available to the general public starting from 2nd of April 2014. The first major update to version 1.01 took place on 23rd of April. This added some new car parts. Version 1.02 was released on 4th of June 2014 and version 1.03 was released on 20th of August 2014. Both of them added new content. The biggest update of the game's history, version 1.04, took place on the 24th of December 2014. This added second stage to the game's name. The update added a lot of content and upgraded many of the game's mechanisms. It also marked the change of the developer. Up until then, the game had been developed by Inis and Monobit. Now it was taken over by Aspect. The last major update, 1.05, that added Chapter 4 of the story mode, was available from 25th of March 2015. At the same time, the termination of the game was announced, just a week before the game's first anniversary. The reason for that was that the developers were not satisfied with the Nintendo eShop services. The distribution of the game ended on 27th of May 2015. The online services were completely shut down on 30th of June 2015. So, the game was available for download for just a bit less than 14 months, and the online services were functional for just a bit less than 15 months. The game is still functional in offline mode if you have the files. And I happen to have the game files, so let's see what I can do with them. Now, I don't have a physical 3DS, and since it is a region-locked console, I will probably require a Japanese version, so I will have to try it on the emulator. As you can see, it starts booting up. I have already updated to version 1.05. First, we get a screen that it is illegal to distribute the game on the internet without the permission of the rights holder. Secondly, we get a note that the game is free, but you can buy some items with real money and minors should have their parents' permission for that. Thirdly, we find out that this game is work of fiction and all characters, places and organization names are fictitious. Observe graphical rules and drive safely. After these screens, the game will keep on loading forever. It is likely that the game does not advance because of emulator incompatibility. This game is very niche, so I doubt the developers are going to optimize it for this game anytime soon. Luckily, the most popular 3DS emulator, Citra, is open source, so in case someone is interested, they can create a special emulator for Initial D Perfect Shift Online if they wish. But there is another reason why I'm probably not able to play this game. Since this game was required to have an internet connection, even for offline mode, I don't have all the files necessary for actually playing the game. The official press releases declared that the game can still be played after the end of online services if you have all the files. So, who has these files? That is the question. Out of all the more than 600,000 players, it is very possible that someone backed up all their data and still has full access to the game. Let's wrap this up. Is Initial D Perfect Shift Online a lost game? The answer is yes and no. The general public cannot play this at the current moment because all the necessary files for playing this game are not available. Also, even if you have the files, you would need a Japanese Nintendo 3DS console. Both of the companies that worked on the game are now bankrupt and have been bought up by other companies. Since the game was not hugely popular and was free to play, it is highly unlikely that Sega bothers to re-release it on Switch or mobile platforms. So the only option is to wait until this game becomes playable again. But for now, this piece of Initial D media exists only in the memories of those who played it when it was online 9 years ago. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.